It's so good. It's so delicious. I love coffee so much. You know, when you roll out of bed and it's just like sad. It's just sad when you have to get out of bed. You know what I'm saying? I don't like getting out of bed. It's really difficult. So the thing that I always focus on is that once I get myself out of bed, I'm going to have a really sexy cup of joe who's going to make everything okay, you know? So, welcome back to another episode of Monday Coffee with the Doll. I am your hostess with the absolute mostess and a really cool shirt, Emily Doll. Welcome. Round of applause. Round of applause. Nobody needs to applaud this mess. So this week I thought it would be a really great topic to just share something kind and amazing and wonderful, because let's be honest, there's not enough of that in the world, and why not have that be a topic? I kind of pick my Monday Coffee episodes based off of things that I've been through that week. And so the topics are usually, you know, real topics like anxiety, depression, unhappiness, the dark, dark hole of reality, in general, because it's real things that I'm going through that I like to share with you guys. And this week, something that's really been heavy on my heart, and not in a bad way, just heaviness of love and support, is all of the amazing women that are in my life. And today, we're going to be talking about them. It's gonna get awkward. So, I've kind of been reflecting across my platforms, I would say, my Instagrams and my Facebooks and all of the social media platforms that I'm on. Even my Hush app, okay? Even my Hush app, I'm thankful for, because I get to interact with so many amazing people, and if I could not have that type of contact or interaction, I really think that it would show negatively in my life, because I interact with so many different people every day on social media, you know? I'm a homebody for the most part. Everybody thinks, well, you're probably outgoing, you're probably off doing all of these things. And I'm not. I spend the majority of my time at home unless I'm going somewhere with my family or with my kids. And when that's happening, you know, going out is, you know, just about us. And there's not really that many other interactions going on. But daily, through social media, I have made so many amazing friends and so many amazing connections and interactions, whether they be, you know, temporary, and it's people that I if I think back now, I can be like, oh, I remember talking to this one person and how they really, you know, left an imprint on my life, you know, and I don't ever talk to them now, or maybe I just don't talk to them that much. We're still friends on something, but you know, I can think about all of these different interactions that I've had, and then I have some that have lasted since I started social media. You know, I have female friends on my Facebook that I have been friends with since I started my Facebook, and we still talk all the time, comment on each other's things, check in on each other. You know, we know the thick, the thin, the heavy, the not so heavy, and like probably appropriately embarrassing. Most of my female friends are very much like me in a lot of ways. So, you know, we've shared so much of our lives with each other across these social platforms. And I've just kind of been reflecting a little bit on those interactions. I've had a lot of women kind of pop up in my messenger lately, and just checking on me or reaching out to me to let me know, hey, I followed you for a long time. You know, everything that you post inspires me, or the fact that, you know, you yell at people for being bullies really helps me, you know, take on the day more. You know, whatever thing that I've talked about that's inspired them and caused them to follow my journey and my story. And in today's world, that journey and story usually means it's going to be spread across social media platforms that are going to reach further distances than it would if we didn't have social media. And whatever they're following me for, they're taking the time. They're stopping and they're saying, I want to personally reach out to this girl who I've never met. We don't really know each other according to, the actual standards, but I feel like I need to say this to her. I feel like I need to tell her, good job. I can do it easier because you told me, how you struggled and how you got past it. And now every day I can kick butt even harder or push that much further. And for them to take that time to share with me, that really shows me someone's character and someone's outlook in general, that they appreciate things, that they're sincere and they're thankful. And not only are they thankful that you gave that to them, but they want to take that time and give it back to you and let you know, you're awesome and you're a great person, and I'm grateful that you're here and you're putting your story out there because it's making my story that much bigger and more amazing because I feel stronger or braver. So I'm really thankful for those interactions with the women in my life, and I've been taking more time to let them know, when they send me a message, it usually ends with, we don't know each other, or this may seem silly or creepy, or I'm not trying to be a stalker, but I want you guys to know that I love you. Like, you're my friends. And it really gives me something to hold on to. I've almost stopped doing my work so many times because the pressure gets too great, or I feel too overwhelmed, or my anxiety and depression are just taking me off my feet. And every single time I've thought that, all of the women in my life, not just online, just women in general that take the time to be a part of my life, they've always stepped in and kind of pulled me out of it, given me the perspective I need, or just the right words. And I didn't always have that. I've had girlfriends before, but I was homeschooled, my entire life. So I had my friends on the cul-de-sac that I grew up on at my grandma's house. And I remember my best friend from, my first best friend, Nikki, she's an active role in my life. And then I had some girlfriends in between that moved away, and I can remember my 10-year-old friend in the apartments, Laura. I can remember my 5 to 7-year-old friend on my grandma's street, Alyssa. I can remember all kinds of different interactions, but you have main roles, and Nikki, she was my first best friend, and I used to call her Watermelon Head. I don't know why. It made her laugh, and I liked making her laugh. But she was the one that would come over to my grandma's house for holidays because her mom was my aunt's best friend. And she's like my sister, and now, we've both been through hell and back in life, growing and changing and trying to find our path, and now we're both moms. We both have kids and awesome families, and really good guys supporting us and loving us, and, she was and still is somebody who is always in my corner and sends me messages and love, and is just like, I love you, Em. Your work is amazing. I don't have a lot of family members that acknowledge what I do or my work, and she's definitely one of them. She always applauds what I'm doing, whether it's a blog or makeup or, just anything. She's always there to tell me, you're kicking ass. Good job. So I really, I love Nikki, and I feel so blessed that I still get to have my first best friend in my life. I didn't have a lot of friends until, let's see, I started working. When I started working when I was 18, and I worked at Ulta, and because I did work at an Ulta, was my second job, and I made some really, really great friends, some really good girlfriends. And at that point in my life, I was still in my really toxic, abusive relationship. So having friends was difficult then, because I was kind of trying to get out of being this sheltered teenager into now being this 18-year-old who's kind of trying to also now learn to be an adult, but she has somebody who's controlling everything, and I was still very much a child. So I didn't really get to have friends at Ulta outside of Ulta. Like, going to work was the only time I got to interact with them, and the few times that I would like try to go hang out with girls from work, it would always cause conflict and issues in my relationship. So I just kind of stopped saying, yes, I'd like to go hang out. And that can really hurt your friendships. You know, being in a relationship where you just let people control your every move, it can really hurt your relationships outside of that, because they're controlling. It's a narcissistic trait. They take you away from anybody and everybody because it's easier to control you that way. So I wasn't really allowed to have friends, but you know, the women that I worked with every day became huge pieces of my story. And now the one girl who I'm going to tell from the story, Chelsea, I remember when I went for my interview, she said that when I walked in, she hated me. She's like, you're going to be the biggest bitch ever. I know it, and I hate your face already. And we're now still friends. It's been, goodness, like over 12 years. It's been a freaking long time. We're still friends, and we're both moms, and she's an amazing mom, by the way. She has 2 beautiful little boys and an adorable little girl. These little happy ginger babies. She's got an amazing husband. She runs her own business. She's kicking butt, and she's always been that sassy voice for me. She's been that person that was like, hey, you know, it's okay to be mouthy, and it's okay to stand your ground, and it's okay to also be vulnerable at the same time. And I think she's one of those people that's really shown me balance of all the things that you can be at one time. And she inspires me daily with how, I mean, Chelsea really is that super mom, super wife, super boss. You know, she's that mom. And she does everything, like she cures things with breast milk and oils. Like she's a damn witch. She can just fix anything. But I love her. We're different in so many ways, and we are alike in so many ways. And I just appreciate and value the strength that she is and that role that she plays in my life. I guess it really wasn't until about 4 years ago that I really started, you know, interacting with people again, because when I was with my ex, there was no interacting, there was no friends allowed. And it wasn't until Ben, my oldest, was 7 months old when I started pursuing my pinup career. And when I did that, I thought, I was like, well, we need a Facebook. I need a Facebook page for my modeling, because that's what all the cool kids do now. So I started my Facebook page, and I had a MySpace before that. But I didn't have it very long before I got with my ex, and then he was the type of ex that was like, we need to have the same MySpace, not Facebook, MySpace page. So it was, you know, property of him above my picture, and then it was him and I's page together, and so there really wasn't any interaction with new people there. And then, you know, we got married, and it was nothing but me and my son. And then I started pinup, so I got a Facebook page, and I didn't have a smartphone, I didn't have a computer, so I could only get on Facebook once a week when I went to my mom's to, you know, hang out and let my son play with his cousins. And that's kind of when I started putting my feelers out there, and it was still really difficult for, you know, the first several years that I had a Facebook and I was doing my modeling. It was my only outside source of interaction with people, and that's how I met so many of my friends, well, technically all of my friends, even, you know, my good friends in Oklahoma, I met them on Facebook, and that's how we connected, and then we would meet up in the real life, which, I mean, can either be a good experience or a bad experience. It depends on, like, whether or not a skin suit is involved. So, you know, precautions were taken, but they're my good friends now. A lot of them are my ride or die girls that I can depend on, you know, for everything, and I met them on Facebook. And, you know, after I got a divorce was when I really was able to start getting to appreciate other people interaction. And I met my soulmate, my first soulmate, Miss Ashley Dawn, who her and her mom and dad were our neighbors when I lived with my ex, and we started spending a lot of time with them, and we became really good friends. And when my relationship ended, they were my wings. They were there for me through everything. And Ashley had been through so much already, and so much pain, and such a big journey, that she knew what I needed. You know, she knew what I was going through. And her and I hadn't really talked that much. I spent a lot of time with her mom, Ben and I, on the porch, and we hung out. And Ashley and I didn't talk that much. And as soon as the issue, like, really came to a crash and everything exploded, she just wrapped me up in her arms, and she didn't leave my side, like, at all, not one time. And then she invited me on our first date, because it was about to be my birthday, and she took me to the Cheesecake Factory for the first time. It was the most beautiful date ever. And then she took me to the Melting Pot for the first time, which is like the most romantic restaurant in downtown Oklahoma City, and I had never been there. I'm telling you, that girl knows how to date. It was amazing. But Ashley is my soulmate. Yes, everybody's like, but you have a boyfriend, does he know? Yeah, he knows that if I ever leave him, it's gonna be for Ashley. I owe her so much. I don't know how to explain Ashley and I's relationship to a lot of people because they just don't get it. Thankfully, my boyfriend gets it and isn't jealous, but I love her with every fiber in my body, and now she has the most beautiful family that's starting. She has an amazing soon-to-be husband who is he's such a man. Like, he's that I don't have to worry about anything. You know, I was able to move away, and I knew she was going to be 100% okay, and I was leaving her in the best hands possible. He's such a good guy, you know, and he has a son who is so rad and so funny. And she's about to have their first baby together, who's going to be the most adorable little boy ever. And he's the best baby daddy I could have asked for my wife. But she's why girlfriends are important. And I didn't know that until I met Ashley. You know, I have so many girlfriends that I love and I cherish and I'm thankful for. But Ashley was what taught me why having girlfriends is so important. And that wasn't really a thing that I grew up with in my family. You know, my mom is the type that doesn't believe in, like, having girls' night outs or doing that kind of stuff. And my sister kind of followed in my mom's footsteps. And you know, it's just not something that we ever really talked about. But oh my gosh, you need girlfriends. You need them. You know, you have to have that type of connection. And it saved me. It has saved me through so much pain and through so much heartache. And I am so grateful for all of you. And I hope nobody's feelings are hurt if I didn't, like, talk about our interactions, but I appreciate you. Every single one of you do so much for me. I have a girlfriend right now on Facebook. Her name is Julie, and I feel like me and Julie have known each other in a different life because we're both really inappropriate, and we love turtles. But I love Julie, and things happen, and I need to talk to Julie, and those are the type of friends that I've decided will get my attention, and I'm removing so much of the negative attention by not wasting my time with acquaintances that, you know, they don't care as much about me, so I shouldn't invest all my time in those interactions when the people who really love me and are supporting me through everything are in my inbox cheering me on. You know, don't worry about what this bee said about me behind my back, because this girl right here is cheering me on, and she's the one that deserves my attention and my thanks. So I think that's all I'm gonna say for today. So be happy, be bright, be you, friends. Yeah. Know that I love you guys, and I appreciate every single one of you that takes the time for me. Girl, boy, or anything in between. I love you all for who you are, how you are, and I appreciate that you spend your time with me here. So remember that these are the days that fill your week. Make them amazing. And help somebody else make them amazing too. Love you. Toodles.